Hey everyone, welcome to the Game Week 30 team selection video. Trying to do a lot better than last week. It shouldn't be hard to do better than last week, as that one only ended in 33 points. Here we have a couple transfers to bring you. Maybe could have held off and just made the one. I have done something that I don't know if I'd fully recommend. I probably wouldn't have all of these players that I'm looking at, but we'll see what happens. And honestly, just trying some different things to close out this season. It hasn't really been a great season. We got 9 game weeks left, and we'll see what happens. So starting in goal, actually, this needs to be changed. We will be starting with Falcone against Sampdoria. I have much more faith in that than Monza against Inter. The back line stays the same as it has been, actually bringing Ibanez up into the lineup again. We have Kim, Ibanez, Darmian, and Danilo, all of them with a fixture that could be a clean sheet, could also not be. It's been very inconsistent this year in Serie. Normally, Napoli has been consistent, but ever since Osimhen went down, they have been a very shaky team. In the midfield, we have Kvaratskhelia, Lukman, Zaccagni, and Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic is a player that I just brought in this week for Dybala, who was flagged. And yes, I did not get rid of Felipe Anderson, who's on the bench either. So I do have 3 Lazio midfielders. Again, I don't love that idea. I actually really just don't like it at all. But I wasn't going to get rid of Felipe Anderson when I needed to get rid of Dybala, and I am thinking of using my shuffle relatively soon as well. So if this really backfires, I can get out of it relatively easily. So that's just my thinking and why I'm willing to take that risk right now. Lookman hasn't been great either. I do think the weakest of the 3 Lazio midfielders is Felipe Anderson because Immobile is back. Felipe Anderson's a great player to have when he's playing striker, not so much when he's in the midfield. Zaccagni's coming off a big game, so I think he'll be trusted again, and Milinkovic-Savic is always there. The other player that I brought in is Raspadori, going to my 3rd Napoli striker in 4 weeks. But his stock should definitely rise with both Osimhen and Simeone being out. Simeone was also injured. We do have Lautaro Martinez up front. Went off in the 63rd minute of the Champions League game, so I'm assuming they're wanting to use him. I guess Lukaku did or no, sorry, it was Dzeko did as well, and Lukaku came on. So it's interesting to see who's going to start there. If Martinez doesn't start, then we could be in trouble again for another 1-pointer, and he just comes off the bench and does nothing again. We'll see, but I'm not going to not play him. I'm going to put Felipe Anderson in the first bench spot with Enzola against Lazio in the second bench spot, Beal in third. But this is how the team's going to look. I'm happy with the 2 players that I brought in overall, like Raspadori and striking for Napoli should still be okay. A much cheaper price too for a striker, which allows me to splurge a little bit in the midfield. And then Milinkovic-Savic, like always a good player to have. Just sometimes there's better options. But Lazio seems to have been hot lately and scoring goals, and a lot of it's been coming from the midfield. So I'm hoping to at least get some kind of attack and returns if I have 3 of their midfielders. But that's how the team's looking. I don't know. I have flirted with the idea of starting all 3 Lazio midfielders and taking out Lookman because he hasn't been great. He did score recently coming off the bench, but he's been a substitute and hasn't been producing that much. So I did think of that idea, but I think I'm going to leave it like this. As for a top 5 this week, I would say that Milinkovic-Savic and Raspadori are there. I mean, why would I bring them in if I didn't think they're part of the top 5? Other players that I would say to bring in is Zaccagni because he's hot right now. I would bring him in, especially if you're thinking about using a shuffle soon. Milan's starting to pick it up again. I might think Rafael Leao would be a good option, as well as Theo Hernandez. If Milan is heating up, his attacking presence, as well as potential clean sheets, could be good as well. So Raspadori, Milinkovic-Savic, Zaccagni, Leao, and Theo Hernandez. Looking at the trends for the week, we have players being brought in are Immobile, Zaccagni, Dia, Rabiot, and Enzola. Makes sense. All of them are performing well. Osimhen, Dybala, Lautaro Martinez has been being subbed out a lot. Same with Lookman has been underperforming, and Orsolini in there, which I don't know too much about. Unfortunately, I benched two of the best performers of the week last week, so that was really tough to see. A lot of common names in there, as you can see as well. I'm going to leave it there for this team selection video. Let me know what you think. Would you start Felipe Anderson? Would you ever take 3 midfielders from the same team? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you after the game week. Take care.